Hello and cheers and welcome back to Chicago Reacts. This is another Bartender Reacts video because I like them. These don't do super great, but I have fun with them every single time, so I'm gonna do it and you can't stop me. Today it is another how to drink video. It is 8 horrible drinks ordered by horrible people. I'm very excited for it. So in order for me to have fun with this video, I have created myself a little old fashioned. I'm going to smoke it. It's always fun to do this. I always love doing this a lot. I've put cherry wood in here. I've also got Tullamore Dew, because I do love me some Tully. And I've also got black walnut bitters and just a hint of sample syrup. If you have a chance to do some like cool syrups, by the way, like fig syrup is super good. Just like there's lots of different kinds of syrups you can do. Everyone just kind of goes straight with simple syrup every single time. And currently, admittedly, that is what I have at my house. But there's some really cool syrups you can do, you guys. And it really, really can change everything about a drink. So here it is. It's smoking. Look at it go. We'll just let that sit for a little while. Anyway, I've been enjoying this. Whenever he tells us about these horrible drinks that people have ordered, I'm like, yes, please. I vibe with thee. Can't even imagine some of the stuff that comes out that people come up with, but you know, my taste is not everyone's taste. Some people have ruined their taste buds, and so now all that they like is stuff that is horrible. And I get to judge them for it with help from the lovely, lovely folks at How to Drink. So I don't want to waste any more time. I'm looking forward to this. Let us begin.
Meredith and I, we keep an eye on the internets, and we look for people who post receipts with weird stuff in them, and then I make them. And that's what the Customer's Always Wrong is all about, on How to Drink. I'm just gonna try to figure out which one am I doing. I'm gonna do, what is that? That's the one I'm gonna do first. This is a margarita made with Casamigos Silver Decaf. We're gonna need an ounce of lime juice. All right, there we go. An equal measure of Cointreau.
Okay.
All right, and 2 ounces of Casamigos.
I had a friend the other day. I was like, oh my God, I do not trust you to make any drinks ever again, because he was asked to make a margarita. It's rum. I was like, no. You've been working at a restaurant with a bar for over a year now, and you think a margarita comes with rum? We have a margarita on the menu. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing to people?
Our lime, we got our tequila, we've got our Cointreau, we need our decaffeinated coffee, Folgers. The best part of waking up is Folgers in a cup. How much decaffeinated coffee is appropriate in a margarita? I don't know, 2 bar spoons. Look at those Folgers crystals. Oh, beautiful. Smells like coffee. Smells good.
Okay.
Honestly. I think when you use
I'm trying to think.
instant coffee in a cocktail, you should dry shake first. I mean, I'm basing it off of the idea that, like, you want to give that coffee a little extra time to dissolve. Okay.
I mean,
Hey.
I just can't, like, having coffee with your margarita. Because, like, tequila with coffee, that's fine. Like, putting coffee in your cocktail, totally okay. Like, that's good. That can be really, really good. I just can't imagine it with. It's the lime, I think, that's throwing me off. It might be a little bit the tequila too, but like definitely the lime.
Yeah, that worked pretty good. That smells nice.
Okay.
The orange and the coffee they smell nice.
See, the orange and the coffee would smell nice. That would be good.
I'm a bit worried this might actually be an okay drink. I don't know. Put that guy on the rim of the glass. There you go.
It's the lime that's messing me up.
Our decaffeinated margarita right in there. I'm going to make a bet that this isn't so bad. Let's see. I was wrong. Worse than I was prepared for. It truly tastes like puking in your mouth. It's so bitterly acidic at its finish. It is bad.
Xenomorph juice.
I have a job to do. It starts out orange, bitter, tart, and then that passes straight through anything that was pleasant. Really briefly, right here, there's like a little bit of a moment where it comes up for air. It never really tastes like coffee. It kind of smells like coffee, and then it goes down into Bile Town. That is bad. This customer was wrong. The only possible thought that I have is, what if I added sugar to it? Like if I sweetened it up? Because one, Cointreau is really dry in terms of the triple sec. Like a dry Curacao or a Grand Marnier would be a lot sweeter. Two, a lot of people do add some simple to their margaritas. Like that's not an uncommon
Yes,
thing.
we used to do that at one of the places.
It'd be like a half an ounce of simple syrup in there.
One of the places I used to work, we added simple to it.
Here we go with our decaffeinated margarita. The simple helps it a lot. It still never really tastes like coffee. Oh God, no. It still falls phlegming up, man. My mouth is like responding to it.
Still smoking, but that's okay.
Unhappy way. There's a special place in hell for whoever invented this one. Well,
ooh, that's nice. I just had mine. Man, there's certain whiskeys that hold the smoky sort of flavor really, really well. Tullamore, I feel like, is one of them. Like, you can do, like, I don't love Tullamore by itself. I mean, except for shots. Usually, if I'm going to use Tullamore Dew, it is to mix it with stuff, which is, again, totally fine. I've got a couple of whiskeys that I do like on their own, and I don't need to do anything to them. No, like, some of them taste fine with rocks. Some I don't even need that. But, like, Tully is one that it's like, I don't really like it by itself, but like with a little bit of the black walnut bitters and this like smoked cherry wood, it's really good.
Back to the skull. Let's pull another one of these fucking things. Oh, cool. An espresso martini with bay leaves.
Bay leaves?
I'm pretty sure that they meant Baileys.
Probably Baileys. Probably means Baileys. But the fact that it was written bay leaves like that also leads me to believe that the server double checked and was like, you mean Baileys? Bay leaves. And the customer doubled down.
Maybe I'll try it both ways. Oh, God. Both of them get 2 ounces of vodka. There you go. Half an ounce or so of Kahlua.
Kahlua. I need to get more Kahlua. I had some until recently.
Okay, we need 1 ounce of cold brew concentrate for both of these. 1/4 ounce of simple syrup, just a scotch. And you'd think that would be enough. But, wait, there's more.
Yeah, add a little.
Over here.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to add some bay leaves. I'm just going to crumble them up and put them in there. And hopefully, like, the shaking will do something. And then we'll do a fine strain on the out of that. And then over here, I'm just going to do like a half an ounce of bay leaves.
Right. That's like that's a normal espresso martini. Like, I feel like there's nothing weird about this espresso martini. This is almost step by step how we make it at our at my bar, except for it's more of a restaurant. We don't actually have Baileys right now, so it's like we use milk. But I mean, that's how we make it. It's like 100% step for step how we make the espresso martini. It's good.
The other guy, which I think is going to kind of turn this into a mudslide, really. So that'll be nice. And it's time to shake. Boom. Boom.
Don't break it. People really like our espresso martini.
Drink. Strain our Baileys. Boom. And this is our Baileys.
Still very pale.
Probably should have double strained that. There's a few bay leaves in there. That's all right. Well, which one do you think is going to be better? I know my money's on the bay leaves. As tradition holds, I should garnish this with some coffee beans. Bloop,
yeah.
Bloop, bloop. And over here on the rotating gyre, what is this guy? Badoop, badoop. That really completes it. Okay, here we go. Add bay leaves. I don't know if they're making much of a difference.
I don't think they would. Nice. Don't bay leaves, like, usually, like, the reason that you put them in something is to, it's when something's cooking, and like the cooking aspect is what makes the flavor happen.
Pretty good espresso martini. Actually, I can't complain about that. Maybe there's a slightly herbal component to it, but yeah, it's fine. I think you would have to do an extraction, which no bartender is going to do in the 5 minutes that you give them.
No, not in the initial make.
But like, how wrong are they? I don't know.
If you have it pre-batched, it's different.
What they're actually going for. I'm not gonna lie, I prefer the bay leaves.
Really?
Nothing could have prepared me for this result. What is that taste? I don't know. I don't like saying
it's freedom.
Like chemicals because everything tastes like chemicals. Everything in your world is made of chemicals. But it tastes weirdly fake or something. I don't even know. What is Bailey's supposed to taste like? Oh no.
Oh, I don't know. Because like when I make them, like we usually, again, we do like vodka, Kahlua, coffee, a little bit of milk. I don't use, and chocolate bitters. We add some like chocolate bitters to it. We used to add coffee bitters, but then we don't have those anymore. So we've been using chocolate bitters and it actually like is really tasty. But when I make them for me, I usually don't put any milk in there because milk is not my best friend. So, you know, you don't have to, but it does taste, and maybe it's because we use milk instead of Bailey's. That might actually be a huge difference now that I'm thinking about it. Because Bailey's Irish cream is okay. I've got a different Irish cream at my house that I will use in coffees and stuff. It's been a minute since I've actually tried Bailey's.
I mean, it's kind of got a chocolate component in there, but like, I'm not gonna lie, compared to the clean bay leaves, espresso martini, it just has a much cleaner coffee flavor, much brighter, much better balanced. I guess if life makes you choose between bay leaves and Baileys, go with bay leaves. I don't know what else to say. It's not, people are gonna be like, oh Greg, you just don't like things that taste good. This is sweeter, because this is a plenty sweet drink. They're both very sweet.
Kahlua will do that.
Like a fake chocolate flavor jammed into it. I mean, it's kind of growing on me, but like, that first
I think if you like Bailey's, you'd like it.
Immediately an inferior drink. Yeah, and it actually has like a really unpleasant kind of like turn towards its end. It gets real burny.
Maybe you should check your expiration date on your Bailey's, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. Surprises. The customer was right, I guess, but weird. I love coffee. It's an important part of my life and daily ritual. And that's why I'm so happy that Trade is the sponsor of this episode, because Trade is super cool. They help me discover new coffees all the time because they've got over 55 awesome roasters making all kinds of coffee, and they ship it straight to my front door, roasted to order. And as much as I love coffee, I do find that picking new beans to try can be overwhelming. There's so many species.
You have to go to a good place for it. I used to go to Baltimore Coffee and Tea when I lived there. That place was lit. Oh my God, it smelled so good in that effing store. Like, it was amazing. And they had so many different types of beans, and it was all just like sitting there ready. Like, you could look at each one and they were willing to like grind stuff up for you, and like all the teas, like they would be willing to like put stuff together for you in the store. It was so cool. I wonder if that place is still around. I used to have a friend who worked there, and they would bring me tea a lot. I was like, they would just tell them what teas I wanted, and they'd just bring me little sachets of tea. That place was great. And again, it just amazing smells as soon as you walked in the door.
And all of that, well, Trade maps your specific preferences to hundreds of different flavor profiles and uses that to pair you with coffees that are perfect to your taste. It's part art, it's part science. I think there's a dash of machine learning and a lot of industry expertise all tossed together so that I get all these fun little surprises in the mail. And I find something enjoyable at every roast I get, like this Star Hill Stout Blend, created especially for Star Hill Brewery in Charlottesville, Virginia. Oh, that's very interesting. That's kind of smoky. I was not expecting that. That was the most pretentious coffee tasting you'll ever, maybe not ever, but that you'll ever see me do.
Well then.
So here's the thing. If you love coffee and want more of it, you should go to drinktrade.com/howtodrink or hit the link in the pinned comment or up here in the corner to sign up and get $15 off of select plans and get your first bag of coffee free. And now back to the show. Tastes like, what is that, barbecue or something? That's wild.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's pisco sour. No, pisco. It's what it says. It says pisco sour, no pisco.
What are you wanting?
All right, so I'm going to start with an ounce of lemon juice. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that a pisco sour without pisco, it's going to have a really hard time not being terrible. So we've got
like,
our...
It is always kind of weird when we have our specific cocktails and people want something like the Crimson Petal, but they want, instead of tequila, they want it to have vodka or something, or we've got a drink that uses a Georgian wine. Georgia the country, not Georgia the state. But it uses a Georgian wine in the drink itself, which really levels out some of the sweetness of the drink. And so people will be like, try to ask for it without the wine. And I'm like, I can do that for you, but it's not it's not gonna be good. Like, the wine really does help. And if you don't, like, look, we'll make it for you with the wine. If you don't like it, then we'll make you it without, like, not a problem. But like, it's a core ingredient. And like, when people ask for something without one of the core ingredients, I'm like, okay, but it's no longer the drink you ordered. You're just making something up now. It's not the same drink. It's totally different.
I think we need some water. I'm going to shorten my pour. So normally I would do 2 ounces of alcohol. I'm going to do 1.5 ounces of water, just because we need to have some volume in there. Like, I don't see how you can get around that. But I also feel like there's no flavor in the water, so I don't really want, I don't know. It's only 1/2 ounce of difference, but in my brain, I'm like, yeah, that's a good instinct.
It's also one of those things too, where like some of these receipts, the server might have come up to the bartender without writing something in and been like, use this, you know, like there could be things that we're not seeing, on the receipt. 'Cause they could be like, don't use pisco, use blah, that has happened to me sometimes, where it's just like, things have gone through the receipt, some weird things have happened with the printing of the receipt. And so it's like, no, I know it's like, use the lavender martini, but we don't have like a button for club soda or ginger beer. So use, then we have to go up and tell the bartender, something like that.
1 egg white. Let's hope I can do this.
I always hated this part. You can use aquafaba. Aquafaba does the exact same thing, and it's vegan.
Get some ice cubes.
We also have, there's also bitters they make that you can put in that foam the drink. So you don't have to worry about aquafaba either. Like, because the aquafaba you have to replace every 2 days or something.
There it is, the pisco sour, no pisco. Hold the pisco. This is good. Probably just be boring.
It's gonna taste like lemon.
It's just too sweet. I don't know what to say about it. It's boring. It tastes like lemonade, frothy Sprite, if you're being generous. Now, I will say, I didn't, because it was asking for a non-alcoholic drink, and technically there's a little alcohol in our Angostura. But I don't do this kind of a drink without a little doodah of Ango on the top here, and maybe even a little swishy swirl. But
Swishy swirl.
I bet it'll be a lot better. Yep. Now it's lemonade with a little bit of character. But it's not good. It's very hard to make good non-alcoholic cocktails that are like one-to-one replacements for alcoholic cocktails. You can easily make great drinks that don't have alcohol in them, but to make a non-alcoholic pisco sour that tastes anything even remotely like a pisco sour, that's a real uphill battle. That's not going to be easy. And frankly,
it's hard.
This one is a failure. It failed.
It helps, I think, if there's like a mule or something, or a margarita, something that's got like a really, really strong taste outside of the alcohol. So like you can do a non-alcoholic margarita with like the sour mix, like use a sour mix and lime, and like you can add a little bit of like simple syrup in there. And like there's some things you can do to it to make it still taste kind of margarita-esque or adjacent. Tequila has a very strong flavor, so it's not going to be quite there. But things like a Moscow Mule, vodka doesn't really have too much of a strong flavor. So, as long as you've got some like lime juice and ginger beer, you're probably okay. Like, it will kind of taste like the drink you're trying to make it taste like. we do a couple of different types of mojito right now. Is like we got like a passion fruit mojito and like a key lime mojito that like do taste like the drink. You know, they still, you can get it with or without alcohol and it tastes almost the same. Like there are things you can do that make it taste really good. And, you know, it depends on the drink. There's certain drinks that are really easy to do non-alcoholic versions of. And there are some that are not. Although I will say, people are like, do you have any non-alcoholic cocktails? I'm like, yeah, sure. We've got 2 on the menu. But just give me a flavor profile and I can work with that. Like, I've done lots of little like juice sort of style drinks too. It's like, we can do stuff for you. Can make you a mixed drink that's different. Like, just tell me what you want. Like, I'll do it.
Back to the skull for another. Customer's always wrong. Woodford Reserve and milk.
No!
You better like a little bit of this milk punch.
Ernest!
All right.
But no!
Funny drink because you usually start with the ice. And there it
Yes.
goes. 2 ounces of Woodford Reserve. Apparently that's very specific. It's very important for this drink, the Woodford Reserve milk.
Well, it's probably just like they had a list of things that they could ask for, and Woodford is the one they went with.
Spoons of simple syrup. A couple dashes of Angostura.
Okay.
Give that a big stir. I guess I'm going to try to do a float of milk on this old-fashioned. Oh, no, it's just going to cascade in. Sure, there you go. The milk old-fashioned. Get a garnish in there.
Okay, part of it is I can't drink
There you
milk.
go.
So that's a part of it, is that I cannot drink milk. But also, oh, look, it's curdling. It's curdling. Oh, no. And again, I'm barely drinking an old-fashioned. Like, this is, you know, it's fine. But yeah, usually for old-fashions, you do pour it over ice. I often will do it in, like, another glass that's got, like, crushed ice in it, essentially. Pour it over that, and like, give it a little stir, just to make sure it's actually cold before I pour it over the big ice with a strainer. But that's just what I do at work. But this looks gross.
One delicious Woodford Reserve milk old-fashioned.
Ew!
Whoa!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That milk really brings out the bubblegum notes. That was extremely bubblegummy. And bananas? Wow. I did not expect that. I really, honestly, my last thought before taking that sip was, this isn't going to affect this very much because it's just kind of thinning it out. It's not a huge flavor component milk, you know. It's not going to do much. No. It made a big difference. It added somehow bananas and bubblegum. And I don't like it.
No.
At all.
No.
And like cereal notes. It really brings out the cereal notes from the bourbon. It's got a lot of breakfast
So
cereal.
grain, I guess I get that.
That makes a lot of sense. Bourbon is corn.
Like I said, grain.
Corn pops. Plus milk. Maybe that's just breakfast. Little orange action. Orange juice, right? What if we put coffee in it? Maybe we're on to something here. Maybe
Okay. He's slowly bringing me back around to the possibility here. Add a little bit of Kahlua, add a little bit of coffee. I do, because I do like oat milk and liquor and Kahlua. Like, you can make some good stuff with that. I'm like, okay.
You know, it's a bourbon old fashioned with milk and an orange twist and some coffee.
It is
that
still
and
curdly.
maybe that'll be the we'll call it the breakfast of champions, right? That's the breakfast of something. It doesn't help it. Also doesn't hurt it. It was bad before, it's still bad now. So
Yep.
what's
I'm
the
not
difference?
surprised.
Not fun.
Gremlin sound
Yeah,
effects.
it's a terrible drink.
Ugh. It doesn't look good.
Thank you,
Ugh.
customer. You were wrong. No redemption. All bad. Terrible. Terrible! Back to the skull. Once more into the breach, my friends. This is
Just laughing like Skeletor.
Tito's Old Fashioned. Sure, I'll make it Tito's Old Fashioned. Whatever. What a stupid drink.
Okay.
Badoosh. Tito. Boop, 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 boop. That's right. We're free pouring now.
I get to that
That's a
point.
lot of symbols. This is why I don't free pour. Look at that. Crystal clear. Tito.
That's also why we have like there are all of our syrups and stuff. We have them in the little like squirt bottles essentially, so you can you don't have to have a gaping hole from which the syrup pours forth.
And sugar. A couple dashes of Angostura.
We're not gross. You're gross. Get your mind out of the gutter.
And pull this twisty. Zip. There we go. One Tito's Old Fashioned. I want to preface this explaining why it's stupid. The purpose of an Old Fashioned is to elevate the defining characteristics of the spirit in your glass. We're elevating nothing.
Yeah.
The defining
Tito's
characteristics of vodka are that it doesn't have any. Cheers.
Yes. It's easy to put into almost anything because it doesn't have anything. Twice nothing is nothing. Like,
I'll tell you what. It's a great vehicle for delivering the unadulterated glory of Angostura bitters. That's all it tastes like. It just tastes like...
yeah, like, it makes sense.
Cinnamon, allspice, mace, vanilla.
Okay, sure, fine.
I can't put my finger on the myriad secret ingredients of Angostura bitters. It is a glass of silence. It tastes like...
Ango's Secrets. I love that. Ango's Secrets.
in an art gallery where you're not allowed to speak.
And golf is playing on the television in the background.
Has a little bit of an orange note from the orange twist.
Right. Honestly, he was describing that. I was like, it doesn't sound like it's going to be awful, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be good. Like, you have, like, old fashioned. Like, you know? It just doesn't sound good.
I'm trying to understand what is the motivation behind ordering this. What is it? Do they think it's like low cal? Because like I know vodka and soda is like oh the diet drink, but like it's not, by the way. it's like the differences between this and an old fashioned made with bourbon are minute. Maybe they just don't like bourbon, but they know that with the Ango, it's gonna look a little bit like a real old fashioned.
That could be it. They could think that they're doing something.
Maybe that's what it is. I can't possibly understand it. I don't get it.
They think they're doing something with it is really what they are. And I think maybe they want to have a conversation about it. They want people to ask. Like, they want people to be like, well, wait, what? Why? Like, so, like, people do that to me sometimes. They'll be like, I'm going to do something really weird here. And then they, like, order something. And I'm like, okay. And I'm not going to bow to that. All right, sure. I will write it in. We will make you your drink the way you asked for it, but I'm not going to ask you about it. I'm not going to argue with you about it. You can self-deprecatingly be like, oh, I'm so weird and quirky. You can do that all you want to. Okay. I hope you enjoy your drink. I will mock you to the bartender. We will question it incessantly. We'd be like, what the fuck is this? I'm not going to do it. Nah. You can have what you want. But yeah, I don't know. Like, some people just don't like bourbon, which is totally fine. Some people don't like an old fashioned. That's okay. But then, like, find a drink you do like. Find something you like and order that thing you like. You know? I don't know. Because, like, again, it doesn't sound like there's much of anything to this drink. It's just vodka. Maybe it just makes it easier for you to drink vodka. Maybe you want vodka, but like drinking vodka by itself, it can be tricky. Like, I like a Tito's with a bit of lemon myself, but I also am really like when it comes to like straight liquor, I usually go with something that's pretty close to straight liquor because I don't want to worry about, you know, too much sugar or like weird stuff going on, because that's what like causes the hangover, I think. Something to do with the sugar. So I'm just like, just give me just the liquor. And if I don't like the liquor by itself, add some rocks and like a little bit of lemon juice or something. Like, just, you know, just tiny things to make it palatable. But like, I don't know. No idea.
Back to the skull. Here we go. What do we got?
Skull.
We got Ginger ale with a splash of olive juice. What the fuck? Fine.
Ew.
Lovely. And now for the finest.
I hate olive juice, though.
I'm from the part of France that's in New Jersey. You can tell by my accent. I'm gonna take
I like ginger ale.
I actually really like a nice ginger ale once in a while.
I like ginger ale
It's a
too.
nostalgic flavor for me. This was the, oh, you're sick, Greg? You're homesick? Here's some ginger ale. That's supposed to make you feel better.
Ginger ale was, for me, was like, oh, you're hungover, Lauren? Here you go.
In some ways it does. Olives, yes.
We didn't have a lot of ginger ale at my house when I was a kid. We had Fresca. Fresca was the drink my mom liked. So Fresca and Diet Coke were the sodas that spent most of the time at our house. And I was okay with that because I didn't really like soda. Just in general, there weren't very many sodas I liked. So like, it was fine. And then I got a little bit older and realized you could put alcohol in soda, and that made them all infinitely better. Except for that I still refuse to touch, like, orange soda or root beer or Dr. Pepper. I won't touch him. But other things.
Fellow for ginger ale, right? Nothing goes better.
Fresca's great for if your margarita's too strong.
There we go.
Or, like...
Call that 2 splashes. What's a big glass?
That's a good one for that.
You know, you're
Margarita's just too much.
I genuinely enjoy these angry little guys. Nom, 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 nom.
I don't like olives.
Tart, they're salty.
Olives are nasty.
They go good with anchovies. One Gino, a ginger and olive. Just what I wanted. Salt water in my ginger ale.
No.
You could achieve very much the same effect by adding salt to ginger ale. This was obviously a joke. They were ordering this for somebody at the table, and this was to fuck with their friend, right? Like,
oh, it's got to be.
With olive juice in it. It was a bachelorette party.
That sounds right.
I think that the olive juice is sitting on the bottom.
Yep, that was a joke. It had to have been. It's funny.
It's like a drink that makes you thirstier.
But not for that drink.
If there's anything in this episode that's going to make me puke, it'll be that. Not that it was like, oh, it's so bad I'm retching, but like what that salt is going to do in my insides in the next hour. I believe there's one more on the scale. Oh, here it is. It is the Long Island. Long Island iced tea. No sour mix. No Coke. Substitute sugar-free Red Bull. No sour. No lemon.
Like, I had someone order a Long Island for me the other day, but they didn't want Coke. They wanted pineapple juice. We did not have pineapple juice. So I made it with mango. We have weird stuff at my bar. Actually, the reason we don't have pineapple juice right now is because people just weren't, like, none of our cocktails, like, none of our house cocktails are made with it. And people usually order house cocktails. And if they're not ordering the house cocktails, they're ordering something like a Negroni. They're not ordering a lot of, like, French 75s or something. They're not ordering stuff with pineapple juice. So it's like, we had some and the busser kept drinking it. So the busser was the only one drinking the pineapple juice. So we stopped having it in the house because it was just like, you're not paying for it. You just keep drinking it. No. And like, we didn't go through enough of it to like we would open like one of the little cans, but like we just didn't use it for anything. So, but anyway, that was a interesting one. And it's like, and we don't have sour mix either. We have hard liquors. We have a couple of syrups. We have like Coke, Diet Coke, ginger beer, tonic water, club soda. Like it's a limited cocktail type thing, honestly. I've been trying to get sour mix, but again, we don't do too many tequila drinks. We don't do many margaritas. So like the margaritas we just simply do with like lime, tequila, a little bit of triple sec. Sometimes we'll put in like a little bit of simple syrup or a little bit of lemonade or something to give it that flavor. But it's a very simple drink. Like we do keep things relatively low key. Huh. We just don't have anything that we need sour mix for. Like, it was the first time anyone at this bar has ever ordered me a Long Island from me. First time ever. And we just use lemonade for other things.
No joke. Red Bull. Sugar-free. Okay. Do these fit in? They do. Great. Boom, boom, boom. 3/4 of an ounce of vodka. Vodka. I want 3/4 of an ounce of white rum. 3/4 of an ounce.
Tequila.
Yeah, we'll use the Cuervo.
Okay.
I'm going to use this Cuervo. It's not silver, but that's what I got.
I was like, oh, we're not using silver Cuervo.
3/4
It doesn't
of an ounce of
really.
that stuff. I need 3/4 of an ounce of gin. 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec.
Triple
This particular drink, you want the very worst Hiram and Walker triple sec that money can buy. And that's it. 'Cause normally now you would use sour mix and Coke. We don't have
But
sour
no.
mix. We cut that out. Sour mix would be lemon and simple. If it says no sour, I'm assuming it means no simple, no lemon. Okay? None of
That's a good assumption.
Coca-Cola. Nuh-uh. No. And I think that's what they're trying to do. I think they were trying to get rid of the sugar. I think that's the idea here.
Oh, makes
Just
sense.
a good stir.
I didn't like that noise. It's a bad noise.
Red Bull. Some people think that this is a trick that your bar spoon was invented to do, pouring down the side of it. It's not. But it's a happy accident of the fact that way back in ye olden days when blacksmiths were making bartending tools, blacksmiths had to twist any piece of square stock they came across. They just had to. They were compelled. They didn't know how not to.
They had to do it.
The smell of Red Bull. It brings up so many memories. It brings up the memories of driving across the country with my friends in 3 days. It brings up memories of drinking vodka Red Bulls at Shampoo and Nocturne in Philadelphia. It brings up mostly those two things. It doesn't bring up a whole lot of other things. Red Bull gives you vodka life. Oh my God. That's unholy. Ah, tastes like Robitussin or Dimetap.
Oh
I think it's Dimetap. It has that, like, it's a little angry in the throat. Not because cough syrup's not super duper sweet. It's very sweet, but like the flavor is like metallic or something. This tastes like cough syrup. Some bad shit right here.
no. Oh no.
Nope. You get like bubble gum. Like it smells like bubble gum. You have sensation of bubble gum when you get close to it. Oh God. Ugh, it's such an angry flavor. It's so angry. But like Frosted Tips angry. We're getting into like fundamental questions about the fragility of democracy. When we imagine sharing
Oh
a
no.
government with people who intentionally drink this drink. Like, I don't, it's an irreconcilable difference. I don't know how we can make this all work.
I don't either. That sounds bad. He's making
it's
gremlin
like-
noises again.
We're carbon-based life, and this would be like meeting an alien that's based on like sulfur or hydrogen or something, like some other basis, an entirely different chain. They're not on the carbon chain. There's something else, you know? It would be like telling you, like, oh, me, I eat plastic. That's what I live on. I have plastic for dinner, plastic for breakfast, plastic for lunch.
I mean, don't we? Don't we kind of already? Aren't we like full of microplastics? Like all the time?
Which is delicious. I love me some good plastic. Because this is very exquisitely bad. About the worst thing. I don't like this cocktail. As you can plainly
Sorry.
see, the skull is empty, which means that we're all done now.
Whew.
And I've had some bad drinks.
I'm
and
sorry,
some
man.
that were kind of fine, but that weren't great. I mean, just terrible ideas here, I guess. 8 drinks. There was 8 drinks in this episode. Wow. Didn't even realize that. If you've had a great time watching this episode and you want to share some bad receipts with me, the best way to do that would be to be in my Discord, which is available if you're a member of my Patreon. You'll find a link to that down here, up here in the corner. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back very soon with another episode of the show. And until then, here are more of it. Look at them. Look at all these things.
So many.
Click at them. Clickety, 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 clack.
Excellent.
Train goes down the track. See you guys next time. Bye. Good night.
Anyway. All right, I might still do the Dungeons and Dragons one at some point, just because I think that sounds fun. And I kind of, at some point, you know what, it would be really fun. You know what I want to do at some point? I want to make the drinks with him. Like, I want to, maybe I would have, probably have to have somebody, I would have to, like, see what drinks are in the episode, or like have somebody else go through the episode and like get the materials. But I think it would be fun to make the drinks with him, and also just like explain, oh, and yes, this is, I agree or I disagree with his statement here. I think that could be fun. That's a thought. That's a thought for the future. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I always like these episodes. And I feel like at this point I'm mostly doing them for me. But that's okay. That's allowed. I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.